Welcome back. So today we're on part two of Genesis 6 through 8. We're going to be talking about Genesis 7, where we're going to actually get to the flood. So if you remembered from last time, man has been evil and sinful. God has regretted creating man and has decided that he's going to destroy every living thing on earth because of this. However, Noah was righteous before God, and so God instructed him to build an ark and him and his family to get on this ark to save them from the coming flood. So last time we talked about Noah building the ark. So today we're starting off in Genesis 7, verse 1. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of all clean animals, the male and his mate, and a pair of all the animals that were not clean, the male and his mate, and 7 pairs of the birds of the heavens also, male and female, to keep their offspring alive on the face of all the earth. For in 7 days I will send rain to the earth, 40 days and 40 nights, and every living thing that I have made I will blot out from the face of the ground." And Noah did all that the Lord had commanded him. All right, so the Lord has instructed Noah to not only have him and his family on the ark, but to also save some animals. So, of all clean animals, like the type they would use for sacrifice, God asked for 7 pairs, a male and a female. So, there, for example, would probably be 7 pairs of sheep. For unclean animals, God asked for 1 pair of each. So this is where you hear a lot of Noah taking the animals 2 by 2, a male and a female, and then also 7 pairs of birds. And so there's lots of kid stories and things to help us remember that there's 2 animals on the ark. One that comes to mind often for me is the Lord told Noah to build him an arky, arky. Lord told Noah to build him an arky, arky. Build it out of gopher, barky, barky, children of the Lord. The animals they came on by twosies, twosies. Animals they came on by twosies, twosies. Elephants and kangaroos, these bruisies, children of the Lord. And so those songs are really fun, helps you remember. But one thing they often overlook is that not all the animals came in twos. Some came in 14 or 7 pairs. So that's a little fun tidbit. All right, so let's get back to Noah. We are in verse 6. Noah was 600 years old when the floods of the waters came upon the earth. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his son's wife with him went into the ark to escape the waters of the flood. So that is 8 people. If anyone ever asks you how many people came on, it's 8 people. Noah, his wife, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. Okay. So verse 8, of clean animals and of animals that are not clean, and of the birds and of everything that creeps on the ground, 2 and 2, male and female, went into the ark with Noah, as God has commanded Noah. So Noah's following God's commands. And after 7 days, the water of the floods came up on the earth. So they're waiting, and then 7 days after all of this, 1 week, the waters are starting to come up. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the deep burst forth, and the windows of the heaven were open, and rain fell upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them entered the ark. They and every beast according to its kind, and all the livestock according to their kinds, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, every winged creature. They went into the ark with Noah, 2 and 2 of all flesh, in which there was the breath of life. And those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in, as God has commanded them. And the Lord shut him in. The flood continued 40 days on the earth. The water increased and bore up on the ark. It rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed so mightily on the earth that all the high mountains under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed above the mountains, covering them 15 cubits deep. And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds, livestock, beasts, all swimming creatures that swam on the earth, and all mankind. Everything on the dry land in whose nostrils was the breath of life died. He blotted out every living thing that was on the face of the ground, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heaven. They were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those who were with him in the ark, and the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. And so this is where the flood gets really messy. And so the rain has started to come, and it rains for 40 days and nights. And the floodwaters get so high that it covers the whole earth 15 cubits above the mountain. So remember, we said a cubit was about 20 inches from your elbow to the tip of your middle finger. And so the floods last 150 days. And during this time, everything dies. We talked about before how the wages of sin and the punishment of sin is death. This is one of the things that are coming. But again, God is showing his redemption because Noah and his wife and his sons and his son's wife and all the animals with them are safe on the ark during this time. So this is really sad. A lot of people handle the story of Noah Ark as a cute little children's story. I'm sure you've seen the cute little toys, but it was really a sad and violent time. And so that is the end of chapter 7. Next time we will pick up with how the flood ends and how God handles all of that later. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.